to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that have basically become UE5 tech demos, which is fine. But like, how many UE5 tech demos do you need?
One, Fortnite, that's it.
That's actually true. Fortnite is actually a prime example of a game. Like people, you've probably seen people complain about UE5 games, and every game in UE5 looks the same. Fortnite.
Yep.
It immediately proves you wrong. The issue is UE5 provides you a lot of tools, and a lot of game developers will use those tools and only use those tools. And then you will start seeing things look very, very similar, especially if they are chasing photorealism. You know, if you want to make a person, there's like a correct way to make a person look photorealistic. So you're gonna have every game look exactly the same. And if every game is using the same lighting system, they're gonna look the same. But you can be creative. You can make games. Is the new Final Fantasy VII UE5 or is it still UE4?
Good question.
Because I know the
Let's research
part
that.
1 and I think Crisis Core were UE4. But yeah, Fortnite looks it's Fortnite. It looked great. It might not be your art
And
style.
it has its own.
Sorry.
Yeah, it has its own distinct art style. It looks fantastic, and they're quite fast to the detriment of players, unfortunately, to push new features from Unreal Engine into Fortnite because that's their test bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Lumen was first introduced, I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, in Fortnite. Was it stable when it came out? No. But it was there. But yeah. Yeah, I'll need to search for Final Fantasy. I don't know. That strategy didn't
No, it's
always
UE4 by the
work
looks of it.
for. Okay. That strategy of like using their own games as a tech demo didn't always work for Epic. And the best example of that is Unreal 3 Black Edition. It was a huge tech demo for the newer version of the engine, but they pushed graphical fidelity above gameplay. They also consoleized the game. They made it look very Gears of War-ish, which I never understood why. UT was always a game for the PC market. They tried to sell it to the console. It was way too fast-paced for console players. It was an arena shooter that requires precision. Yeah. And they ended up making a game that didn't sell well, and that killed the whole series, which was sad because I was very much an Unreal Tournament fan.
I completely forgot about this thing. Holy shit.
Yep. Like, UT was great as a game because all the maps were different. There was always that variety of assets and everything, and every single game was different. The community provided new maps every single game that you could play. There was new game modes made with the community. UT3 came out with a map browser that essentially revolved around the same three teams. There was like the Asian team for like the Izagani Corporation, if I recall, which all their maps looked the same. There was like the Necris, very like gothic, spacey style for the Necris faction, and then there was like the generic human industrial for the Leandri Mining Corporation. All the maps, the 50 maps that came out in the game, followed that exact same structure, and there wasn't any variety. Everything looked gray. The gameplay was okay, but you could see it was consoleized, and it's sad because it kind of killed my favorite franchise. Would I play arena shooters today? I don't think I have the reflex for it anymore, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yeah, no, especially if you go. Well, there are servers up for things like the older UT games. There are Quake 3 servers still up. The people that play those servers are fucking crazy.
Yeah. And if you're interested in trying UT99, if you're watching this podcast right now, it is Epic did a deal with Old Unreal a couple of weeks ago. You can actually go on oldunreal.com. In their downloads, you will find a full game installer, which does run just fine in Wine, by the way. They will release a Linux version shortly. But you can download the game for free and play for free. It does come with community-run master servers, so you can actually also connect to multiplayer games, and it runs fantastically. It
Awesome.
will run in modern Windows versions. It will run on Linux. It even runs on ARM-based Macs. There's a build for ARM-based Macs as well. So you can run. I believe they offer Unreal Tournament, and Unreal 2 on the website. So that's what they have deals with Epic Games. So pretty fun games.
I can't play them. I used to play back in high school. I used to play a lot of Quake Live, which was based on Quake 3. This is before Quake Live became full of microtransactions, like every free-to-play game ends up doing.
Yeah.
But holy shit, the people that are good at Quake, man, those
They're
like
good at
people.
Quake.
If you've played, if you've been like a mono game Andy for the past 10 years only playing Quake 3, like you're a crazy person and you're really good at that game.
Yeah, especially on Instagib servers, it's just like you stand no chance. That said, it's a game that really reward you for trying to play and learning. The learning curve isn't that high, which is great for a game. It's not like, oh well, you're playing Overwatch, you got to learn all the heroes and like the counters. And no, I mean everybody is the exact same. Everybody plays with the exact same loadout. It's just map knowledge, where are the pickups and how the guns work, and that's it. So yeah, they're fun games. I love playing them. I don't have the reflexes to play them anymore, but I still play them once in a while.
Yeah, I like something just a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Call of Duty's as fast as I'm able to go, but even then, like people, if you've been playing Call of Duty since like Modern Warfare, like again, it's the exact same problem. You see people playing Black Ops 6 now, and the way people move around the map, like I can't do that. Nope.
Yep. And now you got to dedicate a whole hard drive to that game, so that's a bit problematic.
What is the size of Black Ops 6? It was some stupid number.
Oh, I don't know. They just decided to like package all their assets for all their games within one package, and then you get.
Oh, it's only 100. Wait, no, it's not 102 gig. Wait, I heard it was going to be smaller. Oh, it was going to be bigger than that. Did they fix it?
Did they fix it? That's a big question. Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember early on it was reported that it was going to be 300 gigs. They might have actually reduced it.
Even then, like even if it's like 100-something gigs, why? Like,
well, I can understand a game being 100 gigs when it's like a Baldur's Gate 3.
but it's good. That size is going to be mostly textures and assets.
Yeah.
Like
but...
and audio assets. Do you really need? Oh, you're also going to be okay. Baldur's Gate 3 has cinematics. That's also contributing to the size. If you're not rendering them in game, which I believe Baldur's Gate 3 is.
Probably. Yeah.
So that wouldn't apply. But any game that does pre-render their cinematics and then shipping it as a video file, yeah, that's going to contribute to the size if you have a lot of them.
Unless you want to be FF13 on the Xbox, where that game was across 3 DVDs because of the video, and they'd also hyper compressed them, so they looked terrible. Because that game was made for a PS3 first, which had Blu-ray, and Xbox at the time was dual-layer DVD.
Oops. Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily always want to render in game your videos because you can't necessarily do all the things that you want to do in game. But yeah, it's becoming a problem where games ship with such like I want to say like high resolution textures and stuff like that, but the issue is that you really need to have like 4K textures everywhere.
Yeah,
even if you target 4K hardware, nobody's gonna like be sitting right like in front of a wall.
Well, I talk about this with games like Forza. Like, do you need 4K graphics for the crowds? Like, no.
And even if a player wants that, make it an optional install.
Do I need 8K grass? Like, not really.
Yeah. No. If I want to touch grass, I'll go outside.
But yeah, you will definitely see this where there's a lot of games where they're like, again, it's cool, but I think again, limitation breeds creativity. You have like modern hardware has so much storage space. It has so much performance that you can get away with shipping 4K textures for random rocks on the ground. You can get away with shipping a toothbrush that has 100,000 polygons. Like it doesn't need to be like that.
Yep, absolutely. And you got games that are pushing the envelope the other side. Again, we talked about Animal Will earlier. 33 megs. That includes all assets, all audio, all the music tracks, everything. 33 megs.